Here comes your winning formula, courtesy of the Minnesota Lottery. It's the penultimate for the 2022. It's the Vikings at the Green Bay Packers. Welcome. I'm Paul Allen. Pete Bercich, analyst for the Vikings Radio Network. Gabe Henderson with the Vikings Entertainment Network and the Minnesota Vikings Radio Network. And we begin here with the analyst. The winning formula for handling Aaron Rodgers and those 11 interceptions, but he's still Aaron Rodgers and this Green Bay offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's still Aaron Rodgers. And what's interesting is to see how their offense has evolved with the things that have gone on this year. It's a lot more short passing, a lot more slants, throwing in some RPOs. So you're going to see a little bit more of a New York Giants style of passing game with the short, quick throws underneath with Aaron Rodgers now. Now, he's still going to be able to scramble and get the ball deep when he needs to, and that's what you have to survive still with Aaron Rodgers. But there's just a lot of inconsistencies with his wide receivers. Lazard, has a huge catch, and then a couple plays later he drops an easy one that would have been a first down. So it's the issues they've had at the offensive line, inconsistencies all year with their wide receivers, and I think they've just simplified their passing game. You still see some of it, but it's a lot more simple than it used to be.
Yeah, very simple, and I think that's the reason why they've been winning a lot of games. And what the Miami Dolphins tried to do last week was blitz Aaron Rodgers, play in, play out. I think he was blitzed on 60% of his passes, on his drop back passes. When he was blitzed, Aaron Rodgers had over 75% completion rate. When he wasn't blitzed, he threw an interception, and he didn't look his best. So you have to change your coverages. You have to just disguise what you want to do, blitz certain plays, drop back certain plays, make them think. I feel like that's been the formula every single time we've played the Green Bay Packers, but this week in particular, when their run game is not going, you got to disguise.
You blitz Aaron Rodgers and you miss and he breaks the pocket, hide the women and children. I don't care if both thumbs are broken. All right, for the Vikings offense, what's the winning formula, Gabe, to hang a fat number on this Green Bay defense?
I think continue what you do best. Run the ball effectively and then throw the ball to JJ. It's been working so far, and I don't think this Green Bay Packers defense can do enough to stop you. I was watching some film before, and it looks like the Green Bay Packers have tried to fix certain things when it comes to stopping the crossing routes that JJ beat the Green Bay Packers with in week one when we won 23-7. But at the same time, I still think everything else is going to be open. Just play sound football. This Green Bay Packers team would not have won last week if Tua didn't throw 3 interceptions, literally gift-wrapped interceptions on Christmas Day to this Green Bay Packers defense. So control what you can control. Don't turn the ball over and do what we do best, get the ball in the end zone.
Love it.
Yeah, there's a lot said about, what Jerry Gray said at halftime. Jair Alexander was talking about it, how he said, you guys got to play better, you got to do a better job. And not a lot changed between the first and second half. It was more just Tua just airmailing it, and the cheetah turned into an alligator. Didn't want to go up and get the football.
Wow.
Miami is the story of that game. What Miami did not do, turning the football over. They really just gift wrapped that game, I think, to the Green Bay Packers.
Well, as an aside to Jair Alexander, remember after the Week 1 victory by the Vikings, you had members of the Packers secondary doing pirouettes back there. Now, granted, the Vikings offense was new with everything that was new, and Minnesota handled them. After the game, Jair Alexander was verbally upset, saying, I thought all week I was tracking number 18, and that wasn't the case game day. Seriously, is it the right move to track 18 with Jair?
I think what you do is you want to go after Darnell Savage and Adrian Amos. You want to go after their safeties.
Yeah.
Their safeties have fundamentally, they just do some weird things. They turn their bodies. They give up so much room. There's going to be, I think, a lot of opportunities, and that's the group that's going to be worried about when Justin walks into the stadium. Is Savage and Amos. They're going to be like, oh my goodness, here we go. Had the cheetah last week. Now we got to do a deal with this guy. It's going to be, it's a long 8-day span for those two.
And don't forget Waddle.
Yeah.
I'll do the peg with
Almost, I might slide off the table, but I think also, Adrian Amos, he gave up 81, I think over 80 receiving yards in coverage alone last week against Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Remind you, this Miami Dolphins offense only runs like 2 receiver routes. Yeah. So 8 people will be blocking, and then those 2 guys will run routes. So I think TJ Hawkinson will have a big game also. Quay Walker was getting picked on all day against the Miami Dolphins last week, especially in the red zone. So 18, follow them if you want to, but we got plenty of weapons. Like we're at number 87, 17, 19, 4. You keep going. Hopefully 84 gets back here soon, but there's going to be opportunities to score.
Quay Walker picked high in the draft. Ballyhooed from Georgia. We'll see what happens. Bold predictions. Let's go to Gabe Henderson. Bold prediction number 1.
This is bold. The Minnesota Vikings will have more rushing attempts than Kirk Cousins has passing attempts.
Are you kidding me?
Hear me out. Since October 9th, the Green Bay Packers have lost every single game where the team has had more rushing attempts than passing attempts. I think the Vikings continue that mode.
I like that. Peter?
I'm going to stick kind of with the rushing theme and say Dalvin Cook will have over 100 yards rushing. However, he will do it on his first 20 carries.
I thought you were going to say Madison's going to also have 100.
20.
Like,
No,
hey.
I'm saying Dalvin's pitch count's coming down a little bit, but after his first 20 carries, he will have 100 yards rushing.
Offense, defense. My bold prediction, DJ Wanham will sack Aaron Rodgers to win the game, just like he did at 2020 at Lambeau Field. But then again, did it really happen? It was the pandemic season and they had no fans. Maybe they'll have no fans at the end of this game because we're beating them so badly.
So you're saying Vikings fans have to stay to the end of the game again?
Yeah, listening to the KFA and Minnesota Vikings radio networks, the only way to do it. Gabe Henderson, Pete Bercich, I'm Paul Allen. That's your winning formula, a Curly Harris production provided by the Minnesota Lottery.